Inside the Jim Shotokan Karate School in Glendale, Queens, a man named Edwin Rodriguez teaches a room filled with young children. He sure seems friendly.
Al, come here. Al, hi, nice to meet you.
Al?
Yeah.
I'm Eddie. How you doing?
Good, good.
And seems to have a great rapport with the kids.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
The sign here says, seek perfection of character. But Edwin Rodriguez is far from perfect. In fact, he's considered so dangerous to children that he's a registered sex offender.
Out there in the street, there's no gender. Somebody tries to hurt you, they don't distinguish if you're a male or female.
Right, gotcha. Okay, great.
Right? Right.
As he talks to this young girl, you have to wonder if the girl or her parents have any clue about his dark, dangerous past. 9 years ago, Rodriguez was convicted of sexually abusing an 11-year-old girl. According to the criminal complaint filed against Rodriguez based on what the girl told police, defendant did attempt to kiss informant, the girl, on the lips, and attempted to stick his tongue into informant's mouth while informant pushed defendant away. That defendant began touching informant's breast and vaginal area over her clothing while informant pushed defendant away. And defendant then placed his hand under informant's clothing and forcibly inserted his finger into informant's vagina while informant pushed defendant away. Records show Rodriguez spent 6 months in jail and was sentenced to 5 years probation. His probation ended 3.5 years ago. But because of what he did, he's labeled a level 2 sex offender, considered a medium risk to repeat a sex offense, and will have to register his whereabouts for the rest of his life.
We vow to show respect to the school.
So by now you're probably wondering how a guy who's a registered sex offender is allowed to be around kids, teach them, and even touch them. Fox 5 had the same questions after we received a tip, so we went undercover with a hidden camera, posing as someone interested in the school.
My buddy's got a daughter who's 11. Is that good?
Sure, definitely.
So
she would be in the next division. She would be with the youth division.
Okay. So what are the age brackets that basically you would teach?
Well, from 3 up. Left hand, right hand.
And sure enough, he was definitely teaching kids. We have to stress that there is no evidence we know of that Edwin Rodriguez has done anything to the children in the school that he owns. And while we were there, several parents were watching the class. But that's no comfort to those who've spent years crusading against pedophiles.
We are deeply concerned because this is a guy who targeted a minor, and he's put himself in a position in the community where everybody thinks he's the Pied Piper, which makes him really dangerous.
Laura Ahern is the executive director of Parents for Megan's Law, a community watchdog group. Sexually abused children come here for counseling and care.
Sex offenders have the highest rate of recidivism compared to any other violent felon released into the community. And what makes this guy so dangerous is that truly if he did do this in his past and he wanted to avoid any controversy, he wouldn't be working with children.
And his school's website boldly shows that he does teach children, with apparently no one making the connection between Rodriguez's picture on his karate website with his picture on the sexual offender website. In fact, Rodriguez even got a proclamation handed to him from an aide to former state senator Serfin Maltese. Now, since this guy is off probation, nobody's keeping an eye on him. And since he's a level 2 sex offender, he only has to register where he lives, not where he works. Now, there are certain professions like teachers and healthcare workers that have background checks and would pick up on the fact that he's a sex offender. Even an ice cream man can't be a sex offender. But Rodriguez, who owns this karate school, well, he's allowed to work with kids. So it was time to get Rodriguez's side of the story as he was opening the school recently. Somebody brought to our attention that you're a registered sex offender. And you're running this school, and they're concerned about it.
Well, I'm helping my wife out with the school here. I am not, I don't know what to tell you. You know, it was just circumstances that happened, and, I made a mistake in the past. And I am definitely not a child molester. I'm definitely not a pedophile.
Okay, what happened here then?
Well, I at this moment I don't care to elaborate on this unless I have some kind of counseling from my attorney or something.
Okay. What can you say to the parents who might be concerned? Because the dilemma is that you're a registered sex offender according to the state of New York, and you're teaching kids.
Well, I'm teaching mostly adults. My wife teaches the kids, and everything is under supervision.
I think you teach the kids, though, too, correct?
Well, but everything is under supervision. My wife and I run the school, and I also have other adults and parents that are involved.
You can't be a teacher, you can't sell ice cream, you can't, but you're doing this. You understand why people are concerned?
Understandable, perfectly understandable. And I could see where everybody would be, concerned about this.
And what's your...
I could assure you, as I stand right here in front of God, that there's nothing really to be concerned about in terms of, what inspired before and what's going on now.
Rodriguez forced himself on an 11-year-old female and inserted his finger in her private area. This is a dangerous individual that no parent wants to have around their children.
Tomorrow night, How Our Story has created a movement to close the loopholes in the law that allows this situation to occur. Now, after we were tipped to the story and we verified it, we were concerned that the parents would find out solely from our report and not know what to do, so we deferred to the experts, a group we mentioned in the story called Parents for Megan's Law, who actually did the notification and offered resources to the families who wanted it, Ernie.
So, John, is law enforcement getting involved in this at all?
Well, the problem here, it doesn't look, Ernie, like any law was broken. This is a loophole, and the people at Megan's Law is trying to fix it. There's anything that law enforcement can do at this point, but Parents for Megan's Law is trying to close that loophole for this type of school.